Well, the storyline has changed quite a bit from what we thought it was going to be heading into today. It was Boot versus SC Absolute in our first match, and we thought for sure, with no Laz, it was going to be a big problem for SC Absolute. But no Laz, no problem.
I was thinking, no Laz, might as well just give up now, guys.
Yeah,
I said after that first map, I was like, well, this is a waste of time.
Yeah, but in the end, SC Absolute, it wasn't a waste of time for them at least, as they make their way through the bracket and go up against MVP PK now. In saying that though, this is going to be a bit more of a difficult beast, I think, than Boot Dreamstead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They'll want to bounce back straight away as well after last night's loss to Cybers or whatever they're called now. What are they called? Yeah, Cybers
Yep.
In the Star Ladder qualifier. So yeah, I mean, you're going to come up against a very angry MVP, a thirsty, a hungry MVP.
Yep.
They'll want the win here, and they'll want to get into that grand final against Flash Gaming, who really they'll be able to give it their all. Because they've not yet versed them. Their last match in the upper bracket was a forfeit, so their cards are still hidden close to their chest. But, of course, they have to get through SC Absolute, and as we just saw, they can be pretty resolute.
Yeah, I do think, though, that MVP should be able to come away with this one with the win. When we talk about the vetoes, we'll maybe start to break that down a little bit more.
Sure.
But that one against Flash Gaming, if MVP do get there, that could potentially be a really epic series, a really long one as well.
Yep, definitely. I'm prepared for the full, 4 maps it can go to. Definitely, depending on the veto, look at the two teams. There's maps they don't play or whatnot, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got SC Absolute here, who they've just shown us that, look, their Inferno isn't that strong. Their Cash looked pretty good, and their Mirage looked pretty scary in the fact that it's just very random and unpredictable.
So, talking about maps, let's have a look and see what we're going to get for today, Ian. It will be Cache, the choice of SC Absolute, which they did manage a 16-14 victory over Boot just prior. And then Inferno, of course, no surprises there from MVP. With Overpass being the final map in the pool there, a little bit of a curveball, one might say.
Yeah, well, I mean, looking at that, I mean, you can see it's a clear 2-0 to MVP if SZ don't pick up Cash. And then we get onto Overpass. Neither team really plays it. So I guess MVP must just think they play it better than SC Absolute. You can see there, they've banned out Mirage. Clearly, you know, they're just too random. Looking at that, anything can happen in a game like that against MVP. So they're going to avoid that one after just watching it, perhaps. Maybe save something for their game against Flash Gaming, who they might be thinking about vetoing Overpass.
Definitely an interesting dynamic when we get to Flash versus whoever wins this series, but I would suspect it should be MVP as far as those maps go.
See, if you're MVP, you're thinking ahead.
Yeah,
if you're SC Absolute, you just want to be MVP.
I think that's the case, really, because SC Absolute coming into this one absolutely as the underdogs. They've come through from the lower bracket. I mean, obviously MVP, they could have potentially even beaten Flash in the upper bracket final and been awaiting the victor of the next, or this match, I should say.
Exactly.
But that's not the case, so MVP have to play this one out. After seeing that, I do think it should be a 2-0 here for MVP. They're not terrible on Cache and Inferno.
They're not terrible.
Even though sometimes it can be
They've got their full squad. No Termi.
Well, that's as far as we know.
Well,
Termi did better on Inferno than what we saw.
Mini Zeta on... Yeah,
anyway, let's not get too far
No sign, no problems, but no Laz. Well, let's just see.
Yeah. So, Cache is going to be the first map here. It is SC Absolute's pick, and if they don't win this one, it could be trouble. Termi is in the server. I can see just from the kill feed there.
Yeah.
Whether that is as a coach.
Coach,
Okay, there we go. That's okay then.
Haha, well played, Termi.
Yeah.
You win this round.
He's out-thinking us already.
Yeah. Classic coach move. Classic coach move. Good map for a coach, this one, Cash.
Yep.
Can really let loose as a coach.
Is that so?
Don't worry. But yeah, SC Absolute, really, I feel like they would have given up all their cards in that game against Boot.
Well, they had to put everything out, didn't they?
Exactly.
Their CT side in particular looked very, very weak. So if you're MVP here, you've got the choice of sides. You're looking at that MVP T side, and you're starting to lick your lips a little bit.
I'm on the T side. I'm MVP. What do I do? Well, I really can just go B every single round if I want. Mid control is going to be given to me every single round if I want. And if I go A, well, as long as I throw some proper, decent utility, I'm going to flush everyone out of their usual positions. And it shouldn't be too hard. Very nicely done, MC. Love your work, mate. That's beautiful.
That's what we're here to have a look at. IEM Chicago 2018 qualifiers, that's what this is.
Mona Lisa, look out.
And we're in the lower bracket final. MVP versus SC Absolute. If they lose this one, they are done. If they win, they go up against Flash Gaming in the grand final. And the qualifying match for IEM Chicago. Crow starts off nicely. Was a big proponent of the success for SC Absolute, in particular in clutch situations. He did step up very nicely against Boot Dreamscape, but can he do the same against MVP PK? We remain to see. The bomb goes down on the A bomb site for MVP. No real contest from SC Absolute, but they have the player advantage for this retake. Unfortunately, however, Crow is down to a measly 1 HP. And there is no defuse kit here for SC Absolute either, so bit of work to be done. They do lose a couple of players here, things could get a little chaotic. The pop flash does come out for MVP. That's going to allow Glow to find a couple of kills, and that does stabilize things a little bit here for MVP. Excellent work with the disadvantaged numbers. They're making it work. Rita, though, what on earth is that? Glow and Solo going down, and now in the 1v1, Zeph, he will win this based on the timer, but that was almost a little bit too much for MVP.
Well, a bit of a saving grace there is that Rita would have stayed alive, but he was too close to the bomb, and he'll end up falling with it, and that round will go to MVP. And despite being fairly convincing to start with, Rita really came back on that one. And look, SC Absolute, we know they're going to force buy into this round. They've got no option. Take has dualies, Jordan, I can't believe it. MVP, though, if I am correct, yep, still not a fan of the MP5, so they're going to stick with what they know works and not fall into, well, what seems to be a bit of a trap at this point in time. Just a smoke grenade and a flash, and a HE for the boys over at SC Absolute on Crow. Glow doing a great job, just putting up a brick wall of defense there at the squeaky door. And MVP, again, they've already assumed mid-control from that knowledge from the previous map, watching SC versus Boot. The dualies up against Solo.
Can he get anything done with them? That's the real question.
That's a dink off.
Well, a dink is not enough, unfortunately, when Solo has got the head armor. The B site, well and truly in control of MVP now. So it looks like it's going to be a slow and steady one here for SC Absolute. No real crazy contest.
Yep.
Just a waiting game. And MVP have sent Zion and Glow to hunt down. That's going to work out quite nicely. A little bit of extra cash there. Glow 3 kills on the UMP, and the MAC-10 gets 1 as well. So perfect stuff for MVP. And SC Absolute are going to have to take the full save this time.
Yep, indeed. Rita and Crow, the only ones to get off the board so far. And Glow with a great start, 5-1. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, just your usual beginning of a match. MVP really just pushing SC Absolute, and SC Absolute not really having any answers at this point. Now, this poem, he went to the same spot, if you remember, and he got smashed by Ben Kai with a tap-tap from an MP5. Solo going to clear it out. This is that methodical play style that MVP bring.
And Solo getting some work done in mid. That is something that we saw from him earlier on in this as well. These IEM Chicago qualifiers. Like to kind of take mid on his own, put a bit of pressure on the Z connector and have a look up short. It was sometimes his undoing in MVP's earlier match, but so far it's working out quite nicely for him. First gun round to come here though from SC Absolute. Raider straight onto the AWP. Everyone else is going to be running out with the rifles. Looks like MVP is going to take a bonus round here. No upgrades. And if they do win this one, that is going to tell a bit of a tale, isn't it, for the future of this matchup. SC Absolute do not want to be dropping this one here.
That would just be a classic MVP if they were to come away with the win here on a bonus round with 2 MAC-10s. That'd be full no respecting towards SC. Bass at the forklift again. What to notice here is that Rita now is pushing the squeaky door with the AWP. We didn't see much of that against Boot.
Bro's going to find one, Bass another, but Mini Zeta, the new player for the MVP roster. It's only good enough for one there. Zion, typically the star for MVP, also able to only find the single kill. So MVP, the bonus round doesn't work their way. Not too big of a deal.
Mini Zeta still has 8 grand.
Yeah, exactly. Able to buy up this round.
So rich, Jordan. It's all those SMG kills.
Yeah.
Let's see. MP5 on Tuck. That's strange. Silence M4 for Poem and an AWP on Rita again. So they're going to carry through what they had last round. MVP going for some sort of aggression towards B. They've been held off. They kept at bay ever so slightly. Zeph Opportunity
Oh.
strikes in middle, and the Palm will go down to the molly placed behind him, falls into it.
Yep.
And here we go. This is what Boot tried to do as well, that quick split onto B through middle.
Yeah, Take is going to be doing pretty good work up there from Heaven with the MP5, and Bass will close it out against Solo.
Wow.
So 2 gun rounds the way of SC Absolute. Still enough money for MVPs to buy, though, in this round. So many kills on those
2
SMGs.
very quick rounds as well, though, Jordan. Like, so quick. And yeah, the MP5 just made mincemeat of MVP. Solo, you'd normally give him a chance at a clutch, but instead, gets decimated instantly. Now,
He's normally the one that is good in those clutch situations
Yeah.
for MVP.
we got 2, I guess, but just maybe 1 too many left up for Solo to deal with. Now, Poem, MP9, still good. Zeph boosted up. Mid control, I mean, an MP9 is hardly resistance. But MVP just waiting for aggression. SC Absolute have been fairly confident so far, I'd say, in the gun rounds. A bit of a preemptive retake onto the A site after their gamble toward B doesn't pay off.
Not much in mid, though, for SC Absolute, and maybe MVP know that. They will figure it out shortly. Zeph is having a bit of a look in, and we'll be clearing all of those areas out. As I said earlier, typically Solo would be the one doing this, but he's carrying the bomb this time. Decided to also walk his way into mid, so he'll be backing Zeph up and someone else to grab the bomb. Looks for sure like this is going to be an A split with that player so far progressed up through Squeaky. Bass with a 1-for-1 pushing into A main. And it's really just Take on the site right now. If Chuck gets smoked off, he's not going to have much backup and needs to make some magic happen with that MP5. Solo getting one in mid. That makes the job even more difficult for SC Absolute, and nobody is watching short. This is perfect from MVP PK. They just had every single angle on lockdown. They had to wait only a few seconds for SC Absolute to make those mistakes, peek into their sight lines. And it was just a whitewash from there. Goes down, and Poem not going to get out of this one alive.
Well, what looked like a quick start for SC Absolute turned into maybe a slow start. They've been halted temporarily, perhaps, by MVP. That last round, again, you've got to say MVP just identifying the weakness and working around it. Something that maybe Boot can learn from. Left Poem just a little bit powerless. Maybe now they'll start to feel the lack of presence from Laz holding down that B site. Allowing Rita just to go loose on the A site. Double AWP setup, maybe what's in order for SC Absolute. Not sure who else could really pick it up. Sign, patiently waiting. No aggression so far. But again, just pistols and armor. Bass and Tuck with the M4 and MP5 respectively. Not holding together though. So, it's going to take a heroic effort from one of those players. Or a combined effort from the pistols on SC Absolute. Sign now, starting the fake towards B. Could be another mid to B split yet. Poem checks out middle, doesn't find anything. Bass with a good pick onto Zeph over Waterfall.
Another one, Flow goes down, and this was really the only win condition for SC Absolute. Was that M4 to actually make magic happen, and he's been able to do that, certainly. Solo does get the trade back, but all in all, this has not looked out all good for MVP. Now it's just Mini Zeta and Zion, the 2 players that were over toward the B bomb site, thinking, what on earth has happened in mid? Our entire team is dead. The bomb is dropped in no man's land. Poem is putting pressure on from Vent. Zion's found himself in a massive crossfire, stuck between so many players, but somehow he's managed to get in there, not take a single point of damage, get the bomb, and get out. Not that it matters, because there's only 10 seconds left on the clock, and Mini Zeta goes on forward, might still lose this AWP. What on earth is going on here for MVP PK? Feels like a bit of miscommunication.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can sometimes fall victim to that. We have seen their games do end up being fairly close. Maybe communication is their issue, Jordan, after all this time. They've been together so long, though, you'd also think that maybe just a natural understanding of each other's play style would come in. But then again, Mini Zeta is the new addition. And there has been some role changes, I guess, within that. Could just be a fast B here. Baited out the utility by shooting the glass out through the wall. Take, just with a smoke and a flash. Going to look to boost Ro2 into the vent. So it's looking like a heavier mid-presence than really we've seen them have so far. It's also going to put a lot of pressure on Take should they do come towards B. And, well, this is a gamble and a half for SC Absolute. Just the one player in B, in the vent, and one player in heaven. And it might be off the back of Rita pushing Squeaky Door once again with the AWP.
The rotation already starting to come across here from SC Absolute. You see Bass changing his position to Truck. A little bit quicker on the rotate from there, but the bomb is dropped. No one knows where Take is. Is that MP5 with the silencer going to work? Ro2 comes out from the vent late. We'll find 2 kills, and then the 4 versus 2. Mini Zeta goes down. Bass, another 2K for this round. Been stepping up quite nicely for SC Absolute in this matchup against MVP PK. And now MVP, you're going to have to eco. So it's not smooth sailing here for MVP. Especially considering SC Absolute did struggle so much on their CT side to close it out against Boot Dreamscape. You might have expected to see a few more rounds here from MVP to start things off. Especially considering they were the ones to pick up the pistol.
Absolutely, Jordan. And look, to be honest, that MP5 must be so hard to come up against. You just cannot tell where they are at all. And I mean, I say that because really, any day of the week, someone up there shooting, they're in a one-and-done position. They're an easy target. And if you know they're there, you target them, right? But instead, he gets 2 kills. Now, it looks like we're going to see some semblance of an A hit, just based off a contact play. No flashbang or utility. Bass gets caught out, but just the one.
Yeah, way too many players there for SC Absolute for it to be a real issue.
Yep.
Glow with the Deagle. Just wants to get some economic damage here, but...
Some of these rounds just aren't close enough for me to say that MVP are in control. And I think that round in particular is another example of if you are a far and away a better team, which is what you would come to expect from MVP versus SC Absolute, even the pistol rounds, even the ecos, even the force buys should be contested. But instead, SC Absolute are taking the win. And it's not even looking close. So, signs of trouble here for MVP.
It's a nice frag, though, from Mini Zeta. Wresting control of that A main off Bass, who has time and time again been pushing his way in there, looking for the aggressive plays. Another one out here from Poem. A great pop flash. Will net him a kill. Zeph does go down, but now Poem is in a world of hurt. Here comes the Molotov from Mini Zeta. Ro2 does help his teammate out. He gets a 1-for-1 trade. Ro2 can't keep that spray going, or rather Zion can't keep that spray going. Will drop to Ro2. It's a 3 versus 2. Ro2 again going to be aggressive into A main. Spots out the AWP. Bomb goes down. Glow gets a nice trade at least, but there is still work to be done for Glow here. And wow, very sharp on the shot there on to Take. Knows exactly where he is. Or suspects at least. And Ro2 now in the 1v1, but with only 20 HP to his name, this is a difficult one at best. And Glow hasn't been having a bad game either. 9-1-6. Doing okay for himself, rotating over to B. Have plenty of time to get that bomb down.
Ro2 has everything he needs really to retake this site. So that's not bad. Oh, a bit of a nerd smoke coming out from Glow.
I wonder where that went.
It might also just show his hand just a little bit.
A squeaky.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, that's going to give it away.
Doesn't matter, however, as Glow will get the bomb down, and looks like he's going to set himself up perfectly to deal with Ro2 here. Doesn't check the angle.
No.
Oh, well, you got to give it to Ro2. He hit a nice shot.
He indeed hit a nice shot, and you've got to say, Glow, as soon as he saw that vent wasn't popped, you could just see his world was blown. He was like, oh, I don't want to be here right now because I could just use that vent for information. And then, well, he had to overcommit. He had to commit. He was overcommitted. So, fortunate work there from Crow. And a clutch round opportunity to reset goes begging. I say reset, but Crow has $8,000 because I feel like he hasn't died in at least the last 3 rounds.
Has been a while, hasn't it? More mid-presence attempted here by MVP, but there is a defense mounted.
For some reason, SC Absolute against MVP are happy to contest middle.
Well, they are feeling it right now. They're confident. Nita does miss a shot that probably should have connected, and that's going to give MVP the 4v4. Poem gets the better of Zion, but will be traded here. Needs to be traded himself. And that's good work from Crow. Really smart. Able to get in there quick. Not necessarily to back his teammate up, but at least salvage the situation. Glow goes down as well. Crow is all over the map right now. And he is demolishing MVP. 1 by 1, they're dropping like flies. Solo left alive in the 1v3. We do give him credit for being good in those clutches. But this time, it's too much for him. And SC Absolute, they're looking like a completely different team right now.
You know, I can't remember what event it was, but it was an event where Bleh was talking about, or someone asked, what's some information about SC Absolute?
Yeah.
No, Blair was there. And Blair said the player to watch for me is Crow.
Okay.
And I was surprised by that because for us, it's always been Laz.
Yeah.
The star, the AWPer, the fragger. But he said Crow. And, well, you can see why. He's really stood up so far. Again, now that they're up against some, you know, even better competition.
Well, now he's perhaps got his chance in the limelight, given that Laz is not there.
Yep.
Zion does get 1, but he also lost Solo in the process.
Just the pistols for MVP, though, so not going to expect too much, especially given they can't get anything done on their gun rounds either.
Starting to look like a bit of a precarious half here for MVP.
Yeah, but they've got a lot of control over the map as well. Glow's in A, no big deal. Barca isn't behind the forklift because it's an anti-eco. Doesn't want to give away any weapons. Just wants to keep range. Should he go down, there's no way anyone can retrieve it. Definitely a better way of looking at things. But, yeah, this half has definitely gotten away from MVP, for sure. 7 rounds for SC, probably 8. Give them benefit of the doubt for this one. It'll need to be at least an 8-7 half for me to think that this is going to be a good game.
Not looking like it's going to get there for MVP unless things change dramatically in the next few rounds. Because you look at this and it's been fairly one-sided, it feels like, for SC Absolute. Bas and Crow have really stepped up and done a lot of work. That's a nice shot from Mini Zeta, but not anything to get too excited about. Defuse comes across, 8-4.
Yep, 8-4.
With money.
Again, Crow having an impact. Bas as well, like I said, playing smart. They knew they were eco. Didn't want to give away his M4. Just took the long-range fights. Worked out in his advantage. Full buy will come out now. We're going to get to see Mini Zeta actually AWP. This will be a good one. It's going to be Mini Zeta versus Writer. Now, whether they go head-to-head, it's another story. A main control. Safe to say, established. Now, if they can just keep SC Absolute out of A main, stop Reader from pushing squeaky door, they're in a position again where they have map control. They can decide to go out middle. They can go toward B, and it won't be overstacked.
Good utility out from SC Absolute is going to keep MVP at bay for the moment. SC Absolute do need to be careful with the utility that they are throwing out because they don't have a whole lot of it. Now Palm again in a one-and-done position, as you might say. But he's been spotted, so it's going to be a none and done as he does go down to Glow without getting a whole lot on the board there. Flashbang out from SC Absolute. Again, makes MVP pause for thought, but that's really all that it is. And this is all just a fake for MVP as well, as the bomb is situated toward the B site. Zeph, he's going to peek through that smoke. He almost gets 3. Bas will manage to get rid of him, but Glow is still there. And it's going to be Crow to rotate up, but this is going to be the end of the round, surely, as the bomb goes into B, and the plant will go down easily. Nine will take the peak here. It does get the better of Crow. Much better looking round out there from MVP.
Yeah, that really looked like MVP were going through all the motions, the right steps there to get that round. They took control of A main. They made sure nothing else was happening toward B. Then they put in some utility. They sneak low into the site. Oh, sorry, Zeph. And then Zeph is able to get behind. They time a flash, and in he goes. And he was very successful in taking down that A defense with just 2 players there, as the other 3 remain on B and were able to kill off any rotators. So that round really fell apart. And it really goes down to MVP playing well. Not even that SZ made a mistake. Now, SC, reeling from the last round, this time will take A main control again. Very similar to what we thought Boot would do on a consistent basis. Zeph will get tagged down. Still waiting for that B push. Waiting for that information play that SC Absolute have been going for. But A main control is good enough. Crow sitting far back. I'm not sure about that. Mid control is completely open right now. They could also come out squeaky door and punish Poem. But now Bass is back behind the forklift. Mid control here would make a lot of sense, and then a mid to B split. That's how you counter A main aggression. But you kind of have to do it before the utility runs out for the CTs. Otherwise, like what's happening now, you'll see them fall back into the site.
Not a whole lot of time left to work with for MVP, and only now are they starting to explore mid. 38 seconds left on the clock, and
It's going to be very obvious.
their way into the B bomb site is still a little bit up in the air. But Solo could actually make or break this round. If he goes down easily there, that really is going to be quite a difference. Take will get 1 and a second as well before being traded out by Glow. Raider still on the site, getting 1 there as well with the AWP. That's a 2 versus 2, but Solo has done his job. He's kept them busy on the A site, and Bass is going to be way too late to deny this bomb plant. It's a 2v1.
13 HP and a dream. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's just a dream, Ian. That's
is.
really all it is. This crossfire setup for MVP PK, it is way too strong for Bass to deal with. Even if he gets Glow here, that's exactly what Solo needs to do. Step out at the right time.
Yep.
And Bass goes down. 8-6. MVP have at least secured themselves a platform to work with in the second half.
Yeah, I think they also do need the pistol round, but at the same time, we did see SC Absolute's T side. It was pretty hit and miss as well. But MVP here, they've at least given themselves something to work with. They could also finish this one on a 7-round half. Pretty scrappy buy coming out from SC. Their money's taken a bit of a hit in the last few rounds. The attrition wearing them down. Poem aggressive in mid, sitting in the smoke. Interestingly, MVP not checking for mid pushes. Mini Zeta unable to find the wallbang spot for the truck. Ooh.
That could have been hilarious. Not the guy you were aiming for, but you'd take it.
Yeah. That's my advice to women.
I'm not sure I follow, to be honest.
You don't, because you're a moron. What are you looking at, Laura? Oh, dear. Feel like I'm in trouble, Jordan.
No surprises there.
Yeah, standard, really.
Seth finds Raider and Poem. Very good entries onto the site, just perfectly pre-meditating the positions of SC Absolute. There's no real chance for SC Absolute here, but they're going to go for it anyway. It's a 2v5, final round of the half.
What else do you advise they do, Jordan? Come on, come on.
Well, give it a crack, see what happens. Crow needs to get a bit of a wriggle on here, but he will go down straight away. Solo traded by Tank, but at the end, 8 and 7, so not too bad of a half actually for MVP, given the way that it started.
Well, it started great.
Well, toward the middle end.
Yeah, started great, but then it really fell away. Really, really fell away. But MVP were able to rescue it. And SC Absolute, well, some might say they've done enough. Going into this next half, well, are we going to see an AWP battle at some point? Are we going to see Mini Zeta show us why he's here? Are we going to see that Splashkey sort of impact from Mini Zeta?
Oh, don't talk about the war. Got a feel for Splashkey after that Mirage game.
Oh, yeah.
It was a toughie.
It's always a bitter pill to swallow when you have one of the best games of, well, maybe your career, and it's a loss.
Yep.
Happens to me all the time in
Think
tanks.
what else could I do?
Solo, up to his name, up to his old tricks.
Yeah, this is very traditional from MVP. We've seen it a lot. Just leaving Solo alone on the B-bomb side. If you remember, on Sunday night, they did the exact same thing.
Yep. Well, a bomb plant will go down for SC, so that's almost a win already.
Yeah, that's a feel.
Yep.
For Take. And Crow, holding the line, has to fall back, but he's starting to be surrounded as there is a player coming in from the vent. Lots to deal with in the halls as well. Solo wrapping around as well, and it is just a complete crossfire that MVP have established here. Somehow Poem has gotten control of Heaven and stays there, but that doesn't help him too much as the bomb's not planted for him, and Zeta will drop him anyway. Very good retake from MVP, and I guess that's the reason they leave Solo on the B side alone, because they're so comfortable and confident.
Well, the thing is, he spotted him out early, fell back, didn't even take unnecessary aim duels, falls back into the site, you know, does as much damage as he can onto the players since they decide to run in before a smoke comes up CD spawn. The rotate comes in from the team, and Solo's still getting work done. He goes up into the Heaven. The only reason he even eventually dies is because Poem pushes CT spawn. That's just, you know, what you want from an experienced player like Solo. Making those right decisions at the right time, helping deliver that better result. Now, the full eco for SZ because of the bomb plant and the waiting game. MVP in no rush to finish this round. Don't really want any casualties if you're MVP. And SZ take middle. No smoke for city spawn though, so I don't expect it to be very successful.
You would be correct. Zion having the time of his life there. Of a shooting gallery.
Turkey shoot.
Turkey shoot, yep. But the first gun round out for SC Absolute here. Getting the bomb down. Does net them that, at least. Another little bit of a bonus round for MVP, but money isn't fantastic at the moment, so they definitely prefer not to lose all of their guns here, if any.
Yeah, not a lot of utility, huh? No mollies, so you won't be able to get them out of the corner at A. Mid control though, using those long ranges, the UMP won't be able to contest with that. And they're up fast too.
Zeta just immediately traded by the AK of Take, but it's not going to matter. The rest of the MVP players are chiming in. Glow's position still untouched. The pop flash out for him. It's going to be enough to drop the bomb carrier. And Bass. Oh, Bass. What are you going to do?
Well, not a whole lot based off that. The flashes coming in from Solo from the truck, allowing Glow to get one kill, spot out the second. Maybe a little over the top as he did get a bit team flashed, but SC Absolute's rush pretty much gets shut down. Again, it looked great to start with, but they really forced the issue without covering all their bases, and they were punished. And now this round, bit of a formality here, bit of a mop-up opportunity for Zeph and Zion. I want to call him Jeff sometimes.
Not for Zion anymore. Nice. Zeph and Solo. Typically the B players on Inferno.
No, remember, Solo got the boot, mate.
I know. That's the interesting thing about it. But Zeph's still here on the B bomb site most of the time. Doing a pretty good job there as well with the AK. Not much of a contest, really. But 8 to 11, MVP starting to get a little bit of consolidation now into this CT side. A few rounds to play with.
Well, their money looks a bit better now. Got a couple of Molotovs, a couple of smokes across the board. HE grenades as well, which is always a little bit interesting because that implies that, you know, you can't really get a lot done with one HE grenade on the T side. Takes a lot of risk to throw one as well. So these smokes would come out, maybe you would double nade somewhere. It looks like that's what they're setting up for, a double nade into the back of the B site.
Right by headshot.
Oh,
Well,
not good enough, but
not as much damage as you would have liked.
an A for effort, right?
I like the intent.
Yeah. It's probably more damage than a HE would do in a normal scenario.
Yeah. Hasn't really netted SC Absolute all that much, though.
The thing is, it's one of those things, like when you're playing Nuke back in the day, you would spam the rafters for, you know, 2 or 3 clips. But you don't really know if you hit anyone.
Yeah. Of course, SC Absolute have no idea that they've done that damage to Zion, and maybe it won't even play an impact in this round, but SC Absolute are going to the B site. Let's see what they can do with that minor advantage that they do have. Zeph, however, has been very solid defending this one, sitting in that Molotov as long as he possibly can to allow time for Zion to set himself up, and M4 spray doesn't quite connect there, as Ro2 will trade out Zion. Solo through the smoke here, does get dispatched off by Take, but that again gives the opening, gives the misdirection for Glow to push on through the B halls, and he's going to find Rayta. This retake looking very good for Glow now, just needs to win the 1v1 and he'll get that done as well.
Where's the AWP, Glow? Where's the AWP?
Communication issues, we talked about that.
It took a while. Sometimes it can be hard to remember where you died.
Yeah, I can understand that. He's got plenty of time still.
Yep. Oh, of course. Just a regulation round here for Glow. Okay, another bye round for both teams. MVP starting to stretch their lead out now. SC Absolute starting to look a little bit ragged. Unable to hold off those post-plant positions. They get the bomb side okay. They got 2 entries onto B, pretty much unanswered. Still, something doesn't look right. Oh, Zeph.
That is an interesting one. Hasn't worked out for him though. Trade's good. Zeta needs to get involved with this orb. Just swings a little bit too wide, and Take will get both of the players. Glow was looking for the trade. Solo now is on his own. At least able to get one and find an AK, so a bit of an upgrade for him. Oh, no chance.
Very confident play there from Bass. So SC Absolute don't seem to be feeling like they're outclassed or outmatched. They still are going for the duels. They're still playing to win. They're still doing everything you would think you would need to do if you were on par with your opponent. They're not trying to, you know, slow down MVP. They're not trying anything. They're just taking it straight to them, which is good. And, well, it's been pretty close.
Yeah, not a lot of money for MVP this round. Of course, they get the buy through, but there's no AWP. Utility is lacking.
Yep, no control over the map at all.
Definitely a much more difficult round ahead here for MVP. Maybe SC Absolute have a bit of wind in their sails. However, Zeph, well, I thought he was going to get the timing there, but he doesn't quite manage it. Solo cannot also get the trade for his buddy. But Glow, once again, time and time again, stepping up big for MVP PK. 24 and 11.
He's got the bomb.
And he's got the bomb.
I don't know about the spot, but if Zion can get there in time. Maybe giving away his position a little bit, considering the T's would know Glow has to be nearby.
Do they know that he's in A main? Do they suspect perhaps Squeaky?
I'd put my money on A main, I guess.
Well, Crow almost caught out with the flashbang there, but Zion playing anti-flash. Very nice. And the bomb falls at his feet.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. Glow would get the kill anyway onto Crow.
Not sure about that decision to take the bomb and give it to MVP. But Nonetheless, MVP edge closer. Money gone for SC Absolute. They might offer a force buy here. Time is running out. Could be some sense of urgency there for them. Not much has been left open for SC. MVP really closing the door on the entire map. Glow just really shutting down that A execute, and while the rest in mid were unable to do much, well, yeah, it's a team effort.
Glow solid. Be able to just get the one, but Mini Z up, spraying down from the crossfire angle.
Yep.
Getting a 3. Pulling out that USP. Lovely in pink.
Lovely and pink.
Crow. Poor old Crow.
Yep. He just wants an opportunity, doesn't he? He just wants to shoot something, but everyone just seems to fall too quickly.
Give him a chance.
Yeah.
They're running out of chances now, SC Absolute. 14-9 on map 1 for MVP PK. Still, the money's not amazing on that CT side.
No. No. One round win at any point could be the straw. This middle control coming out from Solo usually has Zeph in the vent with him.
Zeph is in the vent.
Yep.
But not peeking. Solo will get Poem. Does go down, but Zeph, good enough for the trade. Actually, gets 2. That's perfect from MVP PK. You called it.
Beautiful flash work there as well from Glow.
Not a glow, but a flash.
Yep. And now a 4-on-2, almost a foregone conclusion. Crow still has the bomb, which is great. But look at that A main control coming up from MVP. Oh, sorry, Mini Z is close up in mid, is he? Okay, so A is completely left open. We're spotting it from the truck. B has got a nice crossfire. Zeph in the vent. Zeph, you don't really need to do anything. Maybe just peek after Mini Z, okay?
Yeah, play that bait game. In fact, Zeph is going to be the one to peek first.
Yep.
That works out fine still.
Indeed.
15-9, MVP PK, 1 round away from map point.
As I say, Jordan, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
I don't think you've ever said that before.
Mate, got to keep coming up with some good ones.
Not even sure how that's relevant in this situation, but...
Well, Zeph didn't have to peek first.
Oh, right, yes, okay, got it. Force buy through from SC Absolute. And those MP5s going to need to be put to good use. Quickly into the B-bomb site by the looks of things. They slow down, however. Solo's good for one in mid, so the job gets ever more difficult for SC Absolute here.
Oh.
They do knock Solo down to 10 HP, but with only 4 players to take that B-bomb site now, make that 3. Zion finding another kill. And the players on the B site just waiting and biding their time for MVP PK. But Bass has managed to sneak out onto the site. The flash comes through from CT Spawn and does blind him. But he will be good enough to get Mini Z. Zion goes down as well. Bass almost stepping up here for SC Absolute, but shut down immediately by Zeph, and Poem finds himself alone. MVP PK, they might be turning this one into a fairly quick map on Cache. 16-9 looks very likely to come up in just a moment.
Well, it feels like it's been the quickest game of the night so far.
Certainly does. Poem goes down, and Zeph will close it out. MVP PK picking up map 1 there on Cache. That was SC Absolute's map pick. That was the one that they were able to beat Boot on.
Yeah.
And now they look forward to Inferno, which not only did they lose against Boot, is also MVP PK's map pick, and incidentally, MVP's best map.
We said that if they, well, I said, I feel like if they don't win Cache, they're out, right? Now we've got, what, Inferno?
Yep.
MVP's best map on paper.
Looks like it could be a 2-0 heading out here for SC Absolute, but maybe they have some more surprises left for us. We didn't expect them to beat Boot Dreamscape. We don't expect them to beat MVP PK here, but stranger things have happened. We're going to head to a break, but we will find out shortly if SC has got what it takes. Don't go anywhere.